Hey there, fellow humans. Today, we're diving into a topic that might sound a bit counterintuitive at first: how boredom can actually lead to success. Yeah, you heard that right. So put down your phones, turn off those notifications, and let's explore the wild world of doing absolutely nothing. Picture this. You're sitting on your couch, staring at the ceiling, thinking about how many dust particles might be floating around in your room. Exciting stuff, right? Well, what if I told you that this seemingly unproductive moment could be the catalyst for your next big breakthrough? Stick with me and I'll show you how boredom might just be your ticket to the top. Let's start with a little story. Back in the day, there was this guy named Isaac Newton. You might have heard of him. Gravity, laws of motion, that whole apple falling on the head thing. Well, guess what? He came up with some of his most groundbreaking ideas during a period of forced boredom. In 1665, Cambridge University shut down due to the plague, and Newton had to go back to his family's farm. Talk about a bummer, right? But here's the kicker. Without the distractions of university life, young Isaac found himself with nothing but time on his hands. And what did he do with that time? He revolutionized physics and mathematics. That's right, folks. While most of us use our spare time to binge-watch the latest Netflix series, Newton was out there inventing calculus. Talk about making the rest of us look bad. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not Isaac Newton. Well, neither am I, and that's okay. The point is, boredom can be a powerful tool for anyone, regardless of whether you're a scientific genius or just trying to figure out how to adult properly. So why does boredom lead to success? Let's break it down. When you're bored, your mind starts to wander. It's like your brain is a toddler left unsupervised in a room full of finger paints. Sure, it might make a mess at first, but eventually, it'll create something interesting. Studies have shown that people who are bored outperform their non-bored counterparts in creative problem-solving tasks. So the next time you're feeling uninspired, try embracing the boredom instead of reaching for your phone. In our hyper-connected world, we rarely have moments of true solitude. But when boredom strikes, we're forced to confront our thoughts and feelings. It's like having an awkward first date with yourself. So, what do you like to do for fun? This self-reflection can lead to increased self-awareness, which is crucial for personal growth and success. You might realize you've been pursuing the wrong career path, or that you really need to call your mom more often. Either way, it's progress. When you're bored, you start to think about what you'd rather be doing. This can lead to setting new goals and aspirations. Maybe you'll finally start that podcast about the history of spoons, or perhaps you'll decide to learn how to juggle flaming torches. Whatever it is, boredom can be the kick in the pants you need to start working towards something meaningful. Contrary to popular belief, being constantly stimulated isn't great for your brain. It's like trying to have a conversation in a room full of screaming children. Good luck concentrating on anything. Boredom, on the other hand, can help reset your brain and improve your ability to focus. It's like giving your mind a spa day, complete with cucumber water and those weird seaweed wraps. When you're bored, your brain starts making connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. It's like your mind is playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with concepts instead of celebrities. This can lead to innovative solutions and unique perspectives that you might not have considered otherwise. Now let's take a look at some real-world examples of boredom leading to success. J.K. Rowling came up with the idea for Harry Potter while stuck on a delayed train. Imagine if that train had been on time. We might never have known about the boy who lived, and Platform 934 would just be a weird spot between platforms 9 and 10. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage. Now, I'm not saying they were necessarily bored, but come on. They were hanging out in a garage. That's prime boredom territory right there. Einstein developed his theory of relativity while working a mundane job at a patent office. Who knew that reviewing other people's inventions could lead to revolutionizing our understanding of the universe? But let's not just focus on these big names. Everyday people are using boredom to their advantage, too. Take Sarah, a marketing executive who found herself furloughed during the pandemic. Instead of binge-watching Tiger King for the 5th time, she used her newfound free time to start a small online business selling handmade jewelry. Now her side hustle is bringing in more money than her old job. Or consider Mike, a college student who was bored out of his mind during a particularly dull lecture. Instead of falling asleep like the rest of us would, he started doodling in his notebook. Those doodles eventually turned into a popular webcomic, and now Mike's making a living doing what he loves. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but how do I actually embrace boredom without losing my mind? Well, fear not, my friend. I've got some tips for you. I know. Scheduling boredom sounds about as fun as scheduling a root canal. But hear me out. Set aside 15-30 minutes each day where you do absolutely nothing. No phone, no TV, no books. Just you and your thoughts. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but stick with it. Your brain will thank you later. Try something repetitive and mindless, like knitting, adult coloring books, or solving Rubik's Cubes. These activities occupy your hands while leaving your mind free to wander. Who knows? You might end up knitting a sweater that predicts the future, or coloring your way to enlightenment. Leave your electronic ball and chain at home and just stroll around your neighborhood. Let your mind wander as you take in your surroundings. You might discover a hidden gem in your area, or at least get some exercise while contemplating the meaning of life. Okay, this one's not exactly boredom, but it's close. Mindfulness meditation involves focusing on the present moment without judgment. It's like giving your brain a timeout, but in a good way. Start with just a few minutes a day and work your way up. Before you know it, you'll be levitating and solving world peace. Results may vary. The Dutch have a concept called niksen, which basically means doing nothing on purpose. It's like procrastination, but without the guilt. Try incorporating some niksen into your daily routine. Who knows? You might accidentally stumble upon the next big thing while you're busy doing nothing. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, social media. In today's world, it's almost impossible to be truly bored. The moment we feel even a hint of boredom creeping in, we reach for our phones to scroll through endless feeds of cat videos and political rants. But here's the thing. This constant stimulation is robbing us of the benefits of boredom. A study conducted by the University of Central Lancashire found that participants who were subjected to a boring task before engaging in a creative exercise came up with more creative ideas than those who weren't bored first. So the next time you're tempted to reach for your phone when you're feeling bored, remember, you might be scrolling away your next $1 million idea. But it's not just about individual success. Embracing boredom can have broader societal implications too. In our fast-paced, always-on culture, we've lost the art of doing nothing. We're constantly busy, constantly productive, constantly connected. And while this might seem like a recipe for success, it's actually leading to increased rates of burnout, anxiety, and depression. By reintroducing boredom into our lives, we can create a society that values reflection, creativity, and mental well-being. Imagine a world where people take regular breaks to just exist. No goals, no productivity hacks, no optimization. Just being. It might sound like a hippie utopia, but it could lead to happier, more fulfilled individuals, and, as a result, a more innovative and compassionate society. Of course, I'm not suggesting we all quit our jobs and spend our days staring at walls. The key, as with most things in life, is balance. We need to find a happy medium between productivity and boredom, between stimulation and reflection. So how can we start incorporating more boredom into our lives without completely dropping out of society? Here are a few suggestions. Once a week, challenge yourself to go a full day without using any unnecessary technology. No social media, no streaming services, no video games. Just you, your thoughts, and maybe a good old-fashioned book. It might feel like torture at first, but you'll be amazed at how refreshing it can be. Write down a bunch of boring tasks on slips of paper and put them in a jar. When you find yourself with free time, pull out a slip and do that task. It could be something like organize your sock drawer or count the tiles on your bathroom floor. The point is to engage in activities that don't require much mental stimulation, allowing your mind to wander. Get together with friends to do boring things. Have a staring contest, watch paint dry, or see who can sit still the longest. Not only will you be embracing boredom, but you'll also be building social connections. It's a win-win. When you're putting off an important task, instead of scrolling through social media, try doing something boring instead. Organize your desk, sort your emails, or alphabetize your spice rack. You're still procrastinating, but at least you're doing it in a way that allows your mind to wander and potentially come up with solutions to the task you're avoiding. Engage in activities that require patience and repetition, like gardening, birdwatching, or learning a musical instrument. These hobbies provide just enough stimulation to keep you engaged while still allowing plenty of room for your mind to wander. Remember, embracing boredom doesn't mean you have to be bored all the time. It's about creating space in your life for moments of unstructured thought. It's about giving your brain a chance to rest, reset, and potentially come up with the next big idea. So the next time you find yourself feeling bored, don't immediately reach for your phone or turn on the TV. Instead, take a deep breath, embrace the boredom, and see where it takes you. Who knows? You might just bore your way to success. In conclusion, boredom isn't the enemy of success. It's a secret weapon. It's the fertile ground from which creativity, innovation, and self-discovery can grow. So the next time someone calls you a bore, just smile and say, "Thank you, I'm working on my success." Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to stare at a wall for a while. Who knows? I might come up with the next great American novel, or at least figure out what I want for dinner. Either way, it's a win in my book. Remember, folks, stay curious, stay creative, and don't be afraid to be bored. Your future successful self will thank you.